Welcome back. Here we are, Elmcreek 2.0, episode 23. Holy jump, episode 23. And we are moving on from the farm and the sawmill. Sawmill. But we are doing the tree farm today, and this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one, and I can't wait for this one. This is actually going to be the easy one. Now, the reason why I say easy is because the way I did it in 22 was not so easy compared to the way we're going to be doing this one. And the reason being is because of that darn precision farming. So now when it comes to the fields, we are going to be using all of these fields down here. What do we got? 53, 50, 53, 54, and then 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, and 57, and 50. There we go. All right, and also too, technically speaking, 53, okay, buy that one. We also have, by buying this field, that gives us this. So we're actually going to be buying that or using that as well, because in 22 we had our spruce in that one. The way it worked in 22 was we did one tree type in each field. And I'm sick in the head because that even means I planted service downyberry, downy serviceberry. So this time we're not doing that. They do have more tree types, so that's strike one. And then strike two is majority of the tree types are not usable by the harvester. So what we're going to do in this one is, well, I'm going to show you how to plant it, and what we're not going to plant all the tree. We're not going to plant it. I'm just going to show you how to plant the lines. But we're getting there. Holy jumping! I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So here we are up the edge of 53. Now, when it comes to this field, we ended up, like I said, we put in our own field. So let's say, what do we got? 88, 90, 91, 92. So we're going to say 93, field 93. So now what we did was we put a little dodge there for that sign. I think it was about right there. Let me just check the pictures there. Yeah, about there. That was about there. Now we're going to get our angles on our map, so we're going to get our 270. So then we know that we're going nice and straight. A little bit close, so close. There we go. So 270, that rips us right across there, and then that gives us our baseline because we did do a ring road. Now there is a spot where we can't put anything, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to get way off to the edge, because if you see right here, there is a spot that we're not allowed, right? So there is going to be a spot that we can't do anything. So we just need to find and make that ring. Now, before we do that, the plan is, and the plan was, especially when I did 22, was I wanted to do a multi-field. I wanted to have the trees in the field, but I also wanted to have where we could have, I want it to where we could actually harvest the grass. Now, I kind of screwed myself a little bit, so let's just see here. Where can we... Okay, right there. So I kind of screwed myself in the sense that in 22, what we ended up doing was we ended up plowing the lines in. And by doing that, by plowing those lines in, that means that it engaged the precision farming numbers, which I didn't think about until after. So when it was in, and then once I realized, it gave me an idea that I really wanted the plowed lines to be able to do the, actually, you know what, we're going to be going right up against here. So actually, let's just take these right out. Now we're going to do the plowed lines. So yeah, there we go. Let's just take those right out. So now in 22, like I said, I really wanted to do the plowed lines for the trees, and then I did the forestry ground for the service roads in between. And as much as it worked out really nice, it was so annoying because the precision farming number still accounted for it, or still popped up, because it saw that there was an arable crop. So I ended up having to get my numbers up to the whole 99, 100 prior to changing it over to the tree farm. But then by doing that, when I did try to cut the grass in between, that ended up killing my precision farming number. So we're going to change it up a bit. In 25 here, what we're going to do is we are going to be using the forestry ground for our lines, and then we're going to be using the forestry ground for our lines, and then we're going to be using the dirt for the service roads. Now, what I'm doing right now is, the way the game works is this whole field is all medium grass. So if we are going to be doing anything, there we go. So if we are going to be doing anything that that involves us cutting the grass and harvesting it, I want to put the long grass in to make sure that we get as much as we want. I mean, you could leave it the medium. That could easily be done. That's no problem. However, for the recutting purposes, I want the long. I think it'd be great. And have our long grass in, and then we're just gonna fill. I think I see a little bit of discoloration right there. There we go. So I think that's good. Is it? Was that useless? I don't think that was useless. That looks longer to me. Oh god. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There it is. There's our line right there. Okay. Yes, most certainly. All right, so good to know, because in these fields right here, we're going to be doing the same thing. But getting a little ahead of myself. So now when it comes to that, we've got our long grass in. So now we have long meadow grass that we can harvest, and getting that harvest in, then when it regrows, it's going to regrow back to long meadow. Now, again, we have to find where our line is. So we want to be doing our ring road. We're going to get right to it here. So let's go grab our dirt major. There we go. And then this one, because we are doing the way the fields work, we are going to be either doing north-south or east-west lines. So that's where it's kind of nice, where we can just find that one tire track, and we're gonna make these ones dead straight. And it all depends. You can see how some of the grass holds on to the one side but doesn't really on the other. I've noticed that if you move your cursor over, you can almost find that perfect in between. So that's kind of where I'm going for, but I'm not being picky about it. So that's that line, and then we're gonna grab the other. Oy vey, major. Oh yeah, you screwed that one up hard. All right, how about we try that again? Let's go this one. Oh no, I did turn, didn't I? I don't know. Let's whatever. We're putting her in anyways. So let's put this one in. Try to follow this tire track. Oh, yeah, see, I totally must have gone off the rails here. Oh, unless the tire tracks are wrong. I bet you my tire tracks are wrong. Because that does look... Yep, my tire tracks are totally off. All right. So as long as our sign... Yep, oh, perfect. Okay, actually, that does line up great. And then we have our little in-between road. We could move it over a little bit. We could put that in a little bit and then just kind of tighten it up. Now, when it comes to this, the ring road, what we're going to do is we got this because what we want to do is we want to find where our end is. So now we're going to go forward until we get to there, right there. You again? Holy jumping. Okay, calm down. So we're going to do the ring road there. And then from the corner here, what we're going to have is the... what we're going to have is the north-south line. So now that we know that we can't go any more further that way, we're just going to hit this line right here. Wait, there it is. And then again, we're going to aim it down because we got to see where those trees are. See if that's the one thing I don't like about 25 is it doesn't give us the map. So it doesn't give us the degrees. I did like that in 22 where it gave you the heading degrees in the map. So, okay, so we have to keep it over to the right just a little bit. It seems if I go to the left a smidge, it tells me no. And then we're going to go right up to the trees, so to speak. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. And then we're going to do from there. Actually, whoa, get ahead of yourself here, Major. Then right here, we got to finish this one. Whoa, calm down. And the good thing is this is a worked road, right? So it's not going to be perfect, and I'm okay with that. That is fine by me. So then we get this, and we are going to have a perfectly perpendicular corner here to start. So we're not going to be keeping it this way, but for the spacing, this is what we need. And that's where it lucks out where the other fields, where we actually are going to be keeping all the stock roads in, and everything's going to be kept the same in there. It's just going to be the field themselves that gets manipulated. So now this ring road here, I do a little bit of a zippy, like a winky wonky back and forth around the trees. So again with the tire track, so I'm just kind of thinking up here, then we kind of make the turn, I kind of drive around. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, like that. And around here. That was probably too tight, I think. Just double check the pictures. Right about there. And then we come down, signs right there. All right. Now, that would be, yeah, that's definitely too tight. We'll widen that out a little bit, but that's pretty good. So again, that just gives us a baseline, right? We're just going for a baseline. So now we can just take this inside one, and we're gonna go around here, just around. This one we can kind of be a little fun with. We don't have to worry about being too particular. I just want to make sure we get the camera out of the way. Okay, here we go. So I want to make sure. Holy jumping words, major words. We want to make sure that we're not too close to the trees for the other line. All right, just keep on trucking away. We're gonna get a little closer here. Make this a little bit slower. Get right in there. Follow that line. That one we can widen that out, so that's okay. Then we come back around here. Or just try to keep that. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of that. We'll come back and get rid of that other bush. That's fine. And connect that up. All right. Just like that, our ring road is done. This one we can go, let's say we go out a little bit like so. And then we can come out a bit. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Perfect. And then we are going to be tightening up the corners eventually, but not yet, just because again we're going to be using the mower and the first corner for the spacing. Now again, when it comes to the mower with the precision farming, sorry, not with the precision farming. When it comes to the mower, all mowers have different widths. So I just so happen to have this mower in 22 when I built the farm. Now you can build it however you want. The other mowers base game are wider than this one, or you can go with a couple ones that are smaller. So it's all up to you. It's just one of the, oh wait, we're doing it wrong. Oh, we're doing it wrong. So this is the one where we're using the coon. Let's just double check here because ours is, and we passed it, didn't we? Yep. Boom. So we are using the coon right now, and that's what we had in 22. So this one is 8.3 meters. And I mean, you can go up. There's 9.4, 9.9. There's 7.3. So it's all up to you as to how you want to do it. I felt like once the tree farm was down and planted and in, I felt like this mower actually was a really nice size. It worked out really well. So from here, what we're going to be doing is we have to set our corners. So we have to set our first line and our baseline. So to do that, we're going to be using our forestry to be planting the trees. So we're going to grab our forestry. I'm going to go circle and one size up. And then I just want to see where that paint line is going to be. So see how it's moved over. So right about there is the paint line. So I'm just going to put a little mark up like that. So that would be our first row, but I also need to know how close we're going to go to the other road. So always on these corners, I just did the initial spacings with the mower just because I'm not necessarily, it all depends on how much you want to cut, right? And again, it changed for me. I had so much ambition. Well, why did we get out? I had so much ambition to cut underneath and cut in between, but then with the precision farming thing, that didn't really happen. Okay, so from here, again, we just find our line, and we want to be finding our east-west line now. So right about there, that's a nice one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to rip this line all the way down. Okay, hold on. We're going to try to keep it in line here, Major. So nice and slow, maybe. Okay, there we go. Come on, Major. Come on. There we go. So this is, again, this is going to be our baseline. We're going to be working this out eventually, but we just want to make it easy on ourselves because this is going to be so much easier with the mower, with painting. Because in 22, I did the plowing, right? So we went out and bought the little plow, bought the little tractor, and then I plowed my little heart out up and down each line and tried to paint in the fixes and such. So because we were planning on mowing up and down each, we just space it out like this. We just put our mower down and we put down our forestry line. Again, one size up, and then I just find where that line would be. So, okay, so it looks like that is a line right there. And then I know that's where we started. And then from there, I just go up to the end, right? So now when it comes to the end, so again, we'll just go right here, right like that. Boom, boom. Boom, and then find our line. There we go. So there's our line right there. And then this one, what we'll do is, again, I'm going to go all the way up here. And you don't have to worry about getting too close to the road because you don't know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, Major. So let's just fix that here. Hold on, put that in. And then we'll go get our long grass. Because you don't have to worry about the end right now. We will be adjusting them as we plant, actually, is what's going to happen. So, hold on. Oh, wait, grass, and paint, Major. There we go. Forest. Back to our here, and we want one size up, and there we go. So, like I said, all the way up to the end. Don't go right to it, but you can go right there. You can go a little bit farther back if you want, but that's up to you. So, again, this is what we're going to do. Don't worry. I'm not going to go through every single one, but that's it. You just go back and forth. Then we come around, we line up. So let me get the rest of this field done, and I'll meet you at the end over there. All right, that's it. That's all for this field. We got 14 rows, and that's actually the exact same number of rows as we got in 22. So that means that I'm doing good so far. You can see the little bumpy right here. So we technically, you could say we could get one more row in, right, so to speak. If we were to go there, and then we're like right there, we could just barely do one more row. But we didn't do that in 22, so we're not going to do that here. But we got it. So there's 14 rows, and you can see I did kind of screw up a little bit. There's some spots there where I hit the wrong button, and then there's a couple spots where was it? Right there. So you got a little spot that goes off to the side. So that's where we're just going to grab our little square, pop that in, and we're going to grab this spot right here, pop that in, just kind of paint that over, and then we're good. Now we're going to hold off on putting the long grass in because we're going to clean up these lines. So this baseline now, we're going to go over here. We're going to get to where we are, and now all we're going to do is we're going to go over until we hit, there we go, that one spot. So right in the middle, and then we come over, and we don't want to be getting rid of there we go, right there. We don't want to be getting rid of the end, right? So one more right there. And then we got middle. There we go, middle. And then one more, maybe. Yep, one more there. And pitter patter. All right, let's get this part done. All right, now that that's done, you can see where we're going with this, right? So we've got all of that painted in. Now we've just got to grab our long grass now. And right there, and same thing. We're just going to grab the middle and just kind of go forward till you hit that one line. Same thing till we go forward, hit the one line. Let's fill that in. And a little bit there and there. And you can even go back. I mean, you can go back onto it a little bit if you want. I just try to keep the end open because that's what I use for my spacing when it comes to the planting. Because the planting, I also plant in a certain way to try to keep it as uniform as possible. So once that's done there, get this done here. There we go. Okay, so now that that's all in, so we have our lines, we are ready to rock, and they are super uniform. And then at the end, again, like I said, we don't have to worry about the ends just yet because they are going to be. Now what we could do to just make it uniform before planting is we can rip around. Oh, that's right. Actually, I did do that in 22, didn't I? So we come back around on the whoa, okay. Calm down. So what we're going to do is what we did in 22, that's right. Sorry, it's coming back to me now. It's starting to come back to me. So what we did was we came back down on the ring road. That's right, to at least show our maximum or our minimum. So then we just came up to about here. Then we grabbed our grass. And then we went, let's say, out there. Sure. That was probably a little bit too close or too far in. And then same thing. We're just going to come back. Now, I'll come back with the long grass and cover it up. I think that's a little bit more gooder. The road is wide. So that one's actually not too bad. That's right on the edge. And then same thing. We'll come here. Oop, careful. Wrong button. And then we'll say right about here. Whoa. You know what? I think that's pretty good. Same thing. All right. So let's do this for the rest of them. And just like that, that's the last one. And then pretty much the exact same as before. is where you put the grass in. We just go back to our long, remember squares, and then we just fill in the blanks. Oh, and see how there's little blanks right there? The other thing too is if you wanted to, you can actually come back up with the square and the long grass. And as long as you just kind of keep your line in the right spot, you can actually fill that back in. So if you're really particular, which sometimes that can be, I will come back and I will fill that in if it looks gnarly, or you can leave it open to kind of help you see the saplings. That's the other thing too. It might help you see the saplings a little easier, but then again, in my head, it's also more grass, right? If this is more grass that you might be able to cut, not that this is gonna make or break anything, but there you go. So, okay, let's get that done. Let's get these all filled in. Just like that, we've got all the grass in. We've got all the grass ready to go. Now we're almost done. We're almost done. Now what we still need to do is our service roads. So again, what I like to do is while the tractor's up, we're going the up and down thing again. Now this one is going to be a little different in the sense that we're looking for the tire placement. So again, I'm going to go up and down these fields, but this time we're going to grab our dirt. I am just going to go see if we can find where you know what, we're going to go, oh, see how that was a little over. And then that one, whoa. This is why I don't like, okay, this is why I like circle. So circle, where is tire mark? Right there, okay. And will it let us do, where's the next one? Right there. Okay, so now, oh, careful. All right, so we're going to leave with the smallest size. I mean, we could go one up. We could definitely go one up. We just got to be careful. And then now, exact same thing. So we're going to put that line in. We're going to put this line in like so. Yeah, see, I'd like to try to get it in the middle like that. That would be my perfect thing. But then you come here and see how it's a little off. All right, so I'm going to do the exact same thing here. And before I go, let's just we're going to get this up. Then we grab this. We're going to go circle again. This one, we're going to come in. Now, this is the blend, right? So now we're just going to go back and forth. We get to our end here, and we just go back and forth and kind of blend it in, drive it in and out. Right there, like that. We can probably fix that. I'd like to fix that. So let's go a little bit. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of a circle there. Oh, calm down. Holy jumping. And again, I'm not going to be worried too much about the grass just yet, unless you take off a lot. I mean, it's one of those things where if we need to come back with the grass, we can easily do that. But so far, so good. So that's good. And I'm going to get the rest of these rows done. Okay, that is done. We've got all of our service roads in. And now we just have to do our blending. Now, while I was putting these roads in, so I'm just going to do the blending again. I think you put it in real quick. It's super easy. We're just a little bit of tabs each little corners here, and that's it. But while I was doing this and putting the lines in, it got me thinking that you may be yelling at the screen going, what? I thought you were going to be cutting the grass. Why are you painting it over? And the reason for that is my initial thought, again, I thought we were going to be cutting, but because we ended up not cutting, and because of the precision farming, that's why I ended up putting the roads in to try to make it look a little pretty. So that's where initially, if the precision farming didn't screw me up and we were able to actually do this and cut it all up, I didn't actually put the roads in at the beginning. And then I realized through some testing that it was going to screw me up. And it was like, well, I guess we'll put some roads in to make it actually look worn in, kind of age it up. So that is why. So if it wasn't for us putting roads in 22, and I would actually probably not put these roads in, because if you think about how many rows we got and you think of all the paint that we just put down and all the grass and that sort of stuff, that is a significant amount of grass that we are giving up on, right? That could be cut and could be harvested. So that's where if you're doing this and you're going to have your grass cut and you're going to be cutting it, then a fair warning, if you want, I probably wouldn't put these lines in. I just like how it looks. So that's where, and we did it in 22. So we did it in 22. If I was doing a fresh thing right now, I probably wouldn't to start, just to see just to see how much. Actually, you know what? I probably would do that testing where I probably wouldn't put it to start. I'd see how much I got, and then once I saw how much I got, I would wait until harvest day. And then on a harvest day, that's when I paint my lines in, and then I'd reharvest. And once I reharvest, and I'll see what the difference is. It's a substantial difference. Then, oh yeah, definitely not painting the lines in. But I mean, if it's only one of those, oh yeah, we miss out on one bale out of, maybe X 10 or 15, then that's fine. That's fine. So again, we're almost there. We're just going to blend this a little bit. We blend in our corners, coming in and out, making them rounding off sort of thing. Get that ready like so. That doesn't have to be too much too, right? Just a little bit. And then it comes to the road, same thing. We're just going to blend our road in a bit, coming in and out. Get that in, and then we'll do the same thing over here. Just like that. There we go. Now, so nothing too crazy. Nothing too... But that is ready to go. So now, from here, field 93 is officially done. We are ready to plant. Oh, we're done. We're done. We could probably... Oh, well, yeah, we can't because we can't make the thing. So we could probably just do that. Like out and wide and such, right? There we go. Not too bad. That's probably going to get worn out more because that's the other thing. The farm grows, right? So this is all just preliminary in. And then as I play, I would make adjustments as I go if things were changing. So now from here, field 93 is done. That means we got to move on to all these ones. Now, but before we do that, what I did, oh no, we just have to raise it up. There we go. Wait, raise it up. Hello. There we go. Okay, thank you. So before I did that, what we ended up doing was a service road. So we keep all of the base roads that are in there. We're going to keep those. But then what I did was I did a service road. Oh, ooh, careful, Major. Oh, jumping. Where was it? That's right. Hold on, there's a picture there. That's right. Okay, and then we paint it over. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to grab our paint right here. In and out, and we're just going to fill it all in, but we just want to be careful. We want to get to the road, and we don't want to be filling in that road yet. Yeah. Then just off the side, because all we're going to do is a service road down this edge, which will allow me, and I got it tested, so it actually does work. It's tight. It's very tight. Doesn't work the greatest, I guess, but it does give us an ability to have the equipment run the lines and not have to worry about, run the lines and not have to worry about being stuck out in traffic. All right, so that's there. We're going to grab our long grass and have that done. Put that in, just going to fill it in. And again, technically it was medium grass, so we're just going to go a little bit. We don't have to worry about this side too much because we're going to be repainting it, right? I just want enough of a room for us to put our road in, and that's it. Set this up here, kind of do winkety wonkities, make sure it's kind of like uneven from the edge, kind of blends in, hopefully a little easier. Then we'll come back a little bit, just cause. So be careful of those roads. I don't want to be coming flying in. And then paint over the roads. That's that. Oh, right here. Okay. Same thing. Yeah. Oh, it looks like it is along there. All right. Then we come around here. Like so. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this up. We're going to get... Well, technically what we did was we brought it in, and there was actually a road that went up along here, wasn't there? I think there was. Let me just again look at the picture. No. Okay. Well, oh, I see. Okay. So no, we went up this way. There's a service road that comes up this way. And then it also came in from the road. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to grab our dirt. And then we are just going to get a little bit of an entrance here. And go in like so. And then from here as well, or a little entrance right there. Go. And then now, also to the softening. That's right, I forgot. So we're going to grab our softening. And you can see, if we go far away, see how that is that ridge? So there's the ridge that kind of runs the whole field. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get, we can see how it does manipulate the ground there a little bit. Our money is moving. So now we're going to go over the roads on this one. We're definitely going over the roads on this one. Just nice and soft. I'm not going full intensity. I'm just going the original intensity, lowest, but I'm just trying to kind of go a little bit slower just to make sure that the ground does kind of do something, hopefully. Ooh, getting close to that road and it's still doing something. That's nice. There we go, right there. That should give us a really good transition. So now we can drive the edge here. Let's see, I think it's about there. Yep, that's right. Yeah, it was right about there. And then we just kind of cruise on along the outside here. Go right about there. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, right? We're not looking for perfection, so to speak, in this road. It's just, I just want it to run that edge and run along so we can actually park our equipment, drop some trees, and do some cutting if we need to, and we're not going to be blocking traffic. So we're going to go closer to the road. And again, don't worry about the entrance and exit blend right now. I'm going to go a little slower. See if we can kind of get a somewhat decent line here. And let's see, we can follow this. And again, just kind of trying to be careful getting up to the roads. I don't want to do a complete cut across, but I am going to blend it into each of the service or the field roads. Now this is on an angle now, so this is going to be a little weird. Or we're going to get those little strips that go left and right. Okay? So we can come back and we can fix those. So again, we're just going to get to the edge there and cut across. Because we just need our baseline, right? We just need that one first run, and then the tire tracks can disappear all they want. That's fine. Get that up there, and then get up here. Again, like I said, it's rough. We're just doing a little preliminary, well, for this part, and then we can come back. Sometimes it can be annoying with those little spots, and you'd have to come back and actually hit them. Like, it's just a matter of hitting the right angle to get rid of them. So you can get rid of some of them. You don't have to worry about getting rid of all of them. It all depends on how much they annoy you. All right, and then the other tire track, same thing. Let's get this one done. We're going to rip this up and trying to keep that center one. But because we're on an angle, that center line of grass, but because we're on an angle, this is going to be a little bit weird and a little bit wonky. Let go, keep going. Got a good rhythm in the controller. I just try to hold it. That's the main thing. I've got a good rhythm. Just keep with it. Up this road, pop that in. Let go, keep going. All right. We lost it. We lost it. But this will give us something just to rip around. And then what we're going to do is now we're going to paint over the, yep, little easy major. There we go. Okay. And then now we're into a 90, or we're into the northwest, southeast sort of thing. So we could find our line, but that's okay. We're still going winkety wonkety. We might as well still go winkety wonkies. And then again here, just a little bit of a blend up here, back and forth. Don't have to go too crazy. Blend like that, and then we'll do quick little ones. And even then, like you don't even need to really blend if you don't want to. You can just leave it like that if you want. Put that in, going that way. Maybe. There we go. So that's our ring road. Now what we're going to do when it comes to the field. So I'm just going to start at this field right here, which is I think 53. So yeah, we're just going to start here and I'm going to work my way across. So I'm not going to, yeah, calm down. So I'm not going to suffer you through that whole field again. Let's just turn that cruise control on for right now. And then we can do this. All right, we'll meet you over there. So now when it comes to this, we're just going to fill it in, right? That's the main thing. We have the long grass. The intentions were for cutting. So we're going to fill it all in. Where are you going, Major? Talking, not paying attention. And we're going to grab our painted grass first. Thank you. Go to our square. Now we are running our square on the edges, so we might as well just keep doing it. And again, like I said, I like to do the little buffer edge first before I go to the mad big one. Let's see where you're over there. Okay, so we'll just do our buffer here, get up to there, do the rough one, and then when we get to the road, that's when we can kind of worry a little bit. And you are almost there. Let's turn you. Yep, we want you down near the end. And worst case, you're going to slam into the building. Okay, perfect. So then when it comes to the the road here, I just want to be painting it all over again. So we can just go that and go right up to the edge. Right there, and then here. So we just basically skipped a step for our new field 93, right? There's no arable crop. So that would be the only reason why, that would be the only difference, right? So the only difference is we're planting or painting the grass. I mean, here's the thing that actually I just thought of too. You could leave it regular crop, like an arable crop. And then what you could do is you could plant and lime and seed and there's an idea. I mean, that is very labor intensive, but that could be a possibility. So we could leave the crop or leave the field the way it is. We could just plant everything grass, and then, and then you could go around and try to pick your rows and kind of plant your trees. Maybe I don't know. Again, we're recreating, right? So this is what I did in 22. So this is how we're doing it. All right, that's all done and over with. So now we're just going to go ahead. Let's grab our long grass. And just like you just saw me, let's go paint in the long grass. We'll just do our corners with the circle here just because this is where I'm detailed. I don't want to get onto that road, right? So this is where I care. Voila! There we go. So now technically that field, oh, hello, just trucking along. So technically that field is now what that field was. So let me do the exact same thing as I did here to all of these. What do you think? It's all done. So we got all of the roads in. We got all of the row and roads in, as well as we got all of our blending. So the blending is all done. Now, there's certain areas which actually I think work out really well. It's great how this pans out, where we didn't even plan it this way in certain aspects, but it works out great where situations like this, where the road just didn't quite meet criteria to make another row. So in turn, we actually have like a double service road or a double throughway, and we just only have a couple of them. They got like one set there. We got a set right there. We've got a set right. Whoa! I know there was one. Hold on. My eyes. There it is, right there. So we have a set right there. So it's one of those situations where it's not very often, but in a few places, it works out really well. Because I actually did do one harvest in 22. And by doing the one harvest in 22, I found that actually works out having the equipment come in, because if you need to have equipment work side by side, you don't have to jam it up in between a row. It was kind of like a hindsight 2020. So now that means we are officially ready for planting. We have all, because I didn't do anything with this yet. I had plans. I had lots of plans, but I didn't do anything with that stuff yet. So we're ready for planting, and we're ready to put our trees in. Now, the problem with that so far is that we had basically, I ran into some discrepancies when it came to the tree types, because in 22 we did something, and 25 we're going to have to change. So what I ended up having to do is I had to do a little testing. So let's go check. But don't worry, it was just a little test. So I found a little discrepancy. So I was going through. Okay, so first off, when it comes to 22, we were able to fit, by adding field 93, we were able to fit the we were able to fit the full amount of trees that we could plant in 22. That was 11 trees. Now the problem is that there is 18 pallets in 25 here. Then I started going through some testing, and I noticed that there's only 17 trees available, and there's a discrepancy with some trees here first as well. So we'll get right to that first and foremost. So what I did was, just to make sure I was clearing all my bases, I actually put down, so here's some Betula Ermani. Hopefully I said that right. And then here's a tree, the Betula Ermani. And then I just did that down. Oh no, this is the cherry tree. So here's our cherry tree. Here's our palette of cherry tree right there. Okay. Here's our stupid service downyberry, downy service berry. And there's our downy service. So I did that to all of the trees. However, I found a discrepancy here. So here is some Japanese Zelkova, and here is a Chinese elm. So I thought I was doing good because we got the Chinese elm over here, right? So I got the pallet of Chinese elm over here, and I got the Chinese elm. I was like, well, wait a second. I thought I did. Here, let's just get back here for a sec. I thought I put Japanese Zelkova down. So let's go up to Japanese Zelkova. You put right there. So Japanese Zelkova, that sure looks like a Chinese elm. And then when we plant it, guess what? It comes up as a Chinese elm. So fair warning, if you're putting down Japanese Zelkovas, you aren't. Or maybe we're not putting down Chinese elms. I don't know. So which one's which? Now, moving on. From that being said, we planted all the trees because in 22, as much as I'll get to it in a second, but 22, I had fun doing all the trees, but not hardly any of the trees could be used by a harvester. So I found that these 4 trees right here, where are we? Here we go. So these first 4 trees right here, we can use with the 70 centimeter harvester header. So we've got our aspen. We have our beech. This is the beech right there. We've got our, we all know it, lodgepole pine right there. And we also have our Scotch pine. So this is our Scotch pine. All of these 4 can be harvested with this harvester right here. So that we're definitely going to be planting those. And then I just for piggles there, we decided to pull this thing out, plant this thing on, and it looks like we can cut. Oh, sorry, this is the Manchurian red pine, excuse me. So this is the Manchurian red pine, and it looks like we can cut it. So if we go here and I get right up to it, get a little closer, maybe. Cut. There it is. Can we get? Oh, yeah, you just get. Stop hitting the controls, Major. There we go. Cut. Okay. Cool. And then, hot diggity. Would you look at that? Ooh, yeah. All right. So, okay, technically speaking, we did not have the Hannibal in 22, but because this tree is harvestable with this, you know what? I think it's going to go on the list. Now, last but not least, like I said, there's 18 pallets in the store. There's 17 placeable trees. And what I found was I did all of the trees. I planted them all, and I went through it all, and I figured out it's the apple tree. So the apple tree is not a placeable. So we'll get right up to the top here. Old American elm, aspen, Ermani, beech, box elder, cherry, not apple, downy serviceberry, Chinese elm, golden rain, Japanese Zelkova, northern catalpa, lodgepole pine, Scotch pine, Manchurian red pine, old shagbark hickory, old oak, large Tilla amurensis? That sounds right. So no apple tree. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go grab ourselves the smallest field. And the precision farming score. Look at that. Gone. Right there. So he just had to be reloaded. So I think we're going to grab probably 92 or 50 there, and we'll plant some apple trees. Okay, back to the field. Okay, here we are. So now we've got everything down here. Now it's a little different, this one, just because I have to figure out what we're doing and where we're doing it, so to speak. Now, in 22, it was one tree type per field. But because we have multiple tree types, or fewer tree types and same amount of fields, we're going to have to split it up a bit. Now, looking at the trees when we were testing, the Scotch pine technically is the tallest. The lodgepole pine comes in close second, and then the Manchurian, and then it goes beech and aspen. So what I'm going to do is now the lodgepole pine and the Manchurian are looks like are going to be some major wood. The lodgepole pines are going to be immediately harvestable, just with the 70 meter, right? Not with the Hannibal. So now what we're going to do is I did get a whack load of trees in this one. So we're going to put the lodgepole pine in this field. We're going to put the Scotch pine in this field. Then we're going to put the Manchurian red pine in this field. Then I think we're going to probably put the beech in this field. Then we're going to put the aspen in this field. And then, or maybe what we'll do is we could put the beech in this field and we could put the aspen in this field. And then maybe we're going to throw in some more Manchurians. And who knows, maybe put in a couple apples. So again, I got to figure it all out, right? So we're getting ahead of myself here. So now, first off and foremost, when it comes to the planting, when it comes to the planting and how setting it up and getting it done, is, so we're going to refill the planter. We got that in. So now first, I just want to see, oh, it'll let us unload. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Either I was missing something or I couldn't figure out how 22, maybe I was missing something. So now when it comes to the planting, we've got to turn our lights on because I know it's getting a little bit late in the day, so I'm trying to get this done quick. Now, the way I did it was because in 22 and 25, we have no option to select the distance. I believe in 19 there was, because I bit myself in that one. So there's no option. Now, what I like to do when it comes to lining this up, because when you start planting, like if I turned it on and the second I start moving, it's going to plant something. So you can see how there's the end of the dirt right there, and then there is the bottom. I give a little bit of a gap, and then what I do is this yellow line, the first yellow spur, or I guess support right there, I try to line that up with the edge of the dirt. So if we go to the next row, it's the same thing. If we turn the light off, so at the end of the dirt, then we move up a bit and we try to get the end of, or the edge of this. Can we get, yeah, right down in there. So let's try it. Now, the other thing too is, I don't know if AI will do this, but yeah, let's try. Okay, so I'm gonna get right in. Now to make sure I'm lined up, because you could get a good angle and you can be mislined. So to try to make sure I'm always lined up, is I get the camera and I literally slam the camera all the way forward, and then I just kind of try to get the tires down to the edge of the screen, and then that's where I make my forward and backwards and just kind of get that first support lined up. Now, if I look on my map, I am at 0.1 degrees, so I am as straight as my controller will let me go. I'm going to try to do this with a couple feels with the controller, a couple feels with the steering wheel, and see which one. Here we go. All right, so turn it on. Let's go, and there we go. So it immediately plants. If I turn AI, nope. Nope. Okay, so that's screwed up a little bit. So now what we're going to do, hold on. We're going to see if it's, we're gonna go for, oh, this is gonna screw me up, isn't it? I might plant a double tree. Hold on. Let's see. Go. Oh, so yeah, slam all the way up. Oh, you major, you're screwing it all up here. Oh, you may. So it's all the way, slam it. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna see. It's all about the angles, right? So kind of right there. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, sweet. Okay, it didn't plant, so let's hopefully... There we go. Plants again. So now I'm on 0.0 on my... Oh, 0.01. Oh, don't hold it. 0.2. No, there we go. 0.0. Okay, so we're just going to keep trucking, and I'm going to try to keep it as straight as I can. And this is, again, where it's kind of nice doing the... Whoa, yep, 360, okay. Kind of nice doing the... north and south, east and west. And then also the good thing too, which is kind of nice, is the fact that we're on painted grass, so the tractor's not rocking and rolling, because it was rocking and rolling with the plow. And a bonus, I guess you should say, for in 22 or having the field plowed, was the fact that you could put are we planting trees? Oh, there we go. You could actually put the AI on. So the AI would give you those dead straight lines, and those are really nice. But I think we're doing good. We're still at 360.0, which is the same as 0.0. So I don't think we touched anything. I don't think we moved. Now, the main thing when it comes to this planting is you want to be doing the longest line first. That's the main thing that I gotta stress. I have to stress that you got to be able to do, or you should be, I like to do it in order to get your continuing pattern to line up the way it did in 22, and I kind of aimed for it to do it. And that was what my goal was. And you have to do the longest first, and I'll show you why here in a second, because we're just about to get to the end, and I feel like we're still darn straight. Like that is a good one. That is a good one. All right, so we're gonna do this row, and then I'll show the next row. So this one is kind of sketchy, where we just have to kind of guess where the end is and hope it doesn't play. Oh, okay, lift up. Okay, all right, so there is our last sapling that went in there. And the reason why we do this is now, can we do a landscaping here? Will that be better to... All right, so now the reason why we do this is you do the longest one first. So now we know for the next row, technically we're going to be bang on. Oh yeah, we're going to be bang, bang, bang on. So now let's go get our track. Let's go get back to the other side, because that's what we're going to do is we're going to rip back down to the original row. So there's all of our rows of Scotch pine saplings. And then we're going to get back, and that's why I like to start at the flat edge, right? If you can do a flat edge. Now, if you can't do a flat edge, again, what I like to try to do is start at the longest row. Because if you start at the longest row and you get to the next row that you're on, all you have to do is you just have to try to line up that back plate of the planter, slam it, we'll go a little forward, get those tires in. I'm going to turn it off so we can move it a bit in case. And all you have to do is get in line with the next spot of, or the next sapling, I should say, that is in line with the next row. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's go. 0.04. Okay, we're going to have to do a little bit of a turn. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, calm down, Major. Calm down. Okay, so there we go. Go, got planted. Then we'll have to, okay, we're too far away. Got to concentrate here. So again, like I said, so like trying this now, so far I will say this is actually pretty decent. This isn't that bad. Yeah, this isn't that bad at all, because I remember with the plow, it was rockety, but it still panned out really well. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could do the plow and get the AI to do it, but I don't think this is bad. And I will say, to be honest, I kind of want to say, I think I don't really want to try the steering wheel, because the controller, once you hit that degree, or if I hit that spot, because I'm on painted grass, it's not turning my wheel, right? I'm going to just try to get to, yeah, there we go. We're on 0 now, just a little bit. And then see how I feel like we have moved off just a smidge. There we go. Nice and slows. Letting them out. Oh, no. It's because the grass. That's why. Because of the grass paint and stuff. All right. I see. So there we go. So now, hopefully, what should be happening is it should be in line. Here's another one. Now, I know we're moving in the angles, so this is, especially the first couple rows, this is really hard to tell. But technically, we should be in line. So we'll get those done. And, oh, there we go. So now we know 1, 2, 3. So the next tree will be planted. One more tree will be planted right there. And then the last one should be planted. Boom. And then now we let off. Turn off. And let's spin around. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I feel like that's pretty good. So now I just want to do that. I want to rinse and repeat ad nauseum to get all of our trees in. And then, like I said, because of the, I keep saying like I said, sorry about that. So because of the height wise, I'm going to try to stagger it where the higher trees are more in the back, and then the smaller trees are more in the front. However, let's just take a quick look see. So hopefully, like I feel like there's a little space right there. Here's my little space right there. All right. So now that was, because we actually, so what do we got here? 52 trees. Look at that. Just like that. 52 trees are down. Only 950 more to go. Oh, and real quick, before I go, that is, again, the shortest, right? Or the longer. So now we know for the next row, obviously we can't plant another tree. So then we know for this row, this is going to be, our last tree is going to be right there. And then actually it'll let us do probably one more. And then we'll just keep staggering back. So that's why I like to do the longest row first. All right, let me get all these fields done. Oh, here we go. Done. That is the last of it. That is the last of it. So hold on. We got Okay, so we got it, and then we're gonna go. Hold on, I just gotta do some math here. So it's 30, 40, 50, 54. Okay, all right, that's it. Now I'm sorry it's late. I'm actually surprised that the sun is still up now that we are done. But we are done, and it is just light enough just to kind of show you what's going on. Kinda. Let's see if we can get a good sunspot here. So I don't know if you can see the green right there. So you can't see it very well. I know, I do understand that. But what we're going to do is, so just number-wise, and the fact that we got it done January. So we got it done in January. We can now push the time to watch the growth, and we know we can kind of keep track better of how long it's taken us to do stuff. So what we did was we have, actually, you know what? Let's get into here. Boom, boom, boom. We have right here. So field 93. That is our lodgepole pine. We put 185 saplings into that field. We have field 53. That is our Scotch pine, is our Scotch pine, and we put 173 saplings into that one. Our red pine went into fields 57 right here and 87. So in 57, we were able to put 128 saplings in. We put 108 saplings into field 87. And then the aspen we put into field 54 and 88. So 54, we put 135, saplings. And then field 89, we put 54 saplings. And then we put the beech into fields 89, 90, 91, and 50. So in 89, sorry, my bad, mistaken. Hold on. Field 54, aspen 135, and then field 89, aspen 54. Okay, so we got 54 saplings in there. That's right. Then we went to beech, and we put beech in fields 88, 90, 91, and 50. And in 88, we actually got 88 saplings of beech in that one. And then in field 90, we were able to put in 28 saplings. In field 91, we were able to put in 28 saplings in 90. 91, we put in 21 saplings. And then in 50, we were able to put in 30 saplings, 30. And then the apple trees, we put in 92. So the apple trees, we were able to put in 24 saplings. So there we go. And then the funny thing is, because we bought this property and this is the newest house, that means that this house right here is where it is. So, oh yeah. All right, let's just jump it. All right, so that's done. We are planted. We are going to save. That's it. We're saved. We're in. We're good. And now what I want to see, because we are in year 2, because that brings us up to a grand total of 954, 954 trees. Now, the 24 apple trees we just planted, those aren't harvestable. So technically we have 930 trees planted right now that we can use our harvesters on. So we can use both this thing, and this thing. Well, this thing on the red pines only, or that's the only thing that can do the red pines, but as you can tell. But now, okay, here we go. Let's we did save. Let's just double check, because we're not going to keep the save here because we're keeping track of the finances, so I don't want to be bumping up all of the time. And I already have taken a picture of our finances, so don't you worry. So here we go. So January, year 2. Let's just year 2. There we go. 36 hours. All right. Here we go. Tomorrow. Yes, please. Oh, okay. So I ran through everything. We've got everything full grown. Look at that. Oh, doesn't that look good? Yeah, apple trees are a little lacking. But everything else looks pretty good. I mean, a little slow. Like we expected the size as we knew. And I was also using the landscape stuff to kind of figure out how far we were along to see whether or not we were doing pretty good. So we've got our red pine, we've got our stone pine, we've got our aspen. You know what? It's the snow, the reflection. Let's just bump it up one. Where are we here? So hold on. February, year 12. So that means it's year 11. So 11 years. 11 years for us to grow the stone pine, or sorry, not the stone pine, the red pine and the Scotch pine. Whole jump, and the lodgepole pines were only about 4 years. So I completely blew me away. It completely blew me away. Where we could have grown 3 generations of lodgepole pines, 3 generational fields of lodgepole pines in the time it took us to grow the stone pine, or sorry, the red pine and the Scotch pine. And the size of the trunks too. You got the size of the trunk there where lodgepole pine, a little bit thicker, a little bit straighter, probably better money. So neat, love it. Oh man, I will say I am loving the look of it. It looks really cool, and it would definitely be in my head. Would be if, as we cut things down, we're just going to replace it with lodgepole pine. But looks wise, I will say like that looks pretty good. Here, let's just do a quick little drive through. Yeah, come on. Let's go. There we go. Just send it. There we go. Then we've got all the roads in between. And again, like I said, when I try to get the lineup to work, I think it worked pretty good. We can do our angles a bit here. Not too bad. Yeah, there we go. This is totally bringing back memories. Oh, that's right. They didn't have spruce. They don't have spruce in this one. This was the field of spruce because we couldn't see anything in this field. But this is nice. Oh, I'm liking this. However, we've got to keep track of our finances. We've got to keep track of what's going on, so we can't save it like this. We're just going to have to exit. But again, good to know moving forward, because at least I know in Riverbend we're planting lodgepole pine, and yeah, there's no point in planting anything else. Unless you want it to look pretty. But yeah, I don't think we're going to do something this extreme in Riverbend. Who knows? It all depends on field size. So, but something with the lodgepole pine. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for suffering through this. I can't believe, yeah, this is a good one. This is a big one. Yeah, but look what we got done. So if we want to suffer through 12 years of growth, this is what it's going to take, or this is what it's going to look like. But 12 years, where we could have all of this in 4. All right, well, again, thank you so much, and we hope to see you next episode, in episode 24, where we will be putting in the logging depot. We're going to be putting all the stuff right in here, all the buildings and stuff, so we can hold all of the equipment to run this property. All right, again, we will see you soon. I hope we will see you soon.